Stephen Pressfield, The War of Art. Hello, everybody. So, I read this book already a month and a half ago or so. Stephen Pressfield is best known as the author of historic fiction like Gates of Fire, Tides of War, The Last of the Amazon, Killing Rommel, The Professional, and many others. He's quite successful. You see him regularly in on the shelves in bookstores and in airports. Um, so this book is different. This book is advice for writers. Perhaps he's following in the footsteps of Stephen King, who wrote an extremely successful book called On Fiction. Perhaps it was more successful than many of his novels, so I don't know if it's number one. Okay, so about this book, The War of Art. It is a collection of advice for any creative type, and I don't know how well this is coming across, but you can see it's like advice per page, one little anecdote per page. All right. I found this book on the whole underwhelming. Perhaps I've been exposed to most of these ideas before, but I am very grateful for a couple of things. I'll also say that I completely agree with this book, and it's refreshing to hear people say it. Though like I said, I've heard it said before. What has been said, that it's mostly a grind. Success is mostly just the grind. Here's a little passage that I really like. The sign of the amateur is overglorification of and preoccupation with the mystery. The professional shuns it. She doesn't talk about it, she does her work. Another thing which I appreciated here was he personifies that little voice that makes excuses for yourself, that makes excuses for you and tells you not to work. He calls it the resistance. The amateur underestimates resistance, permits the flu to keep him from his chapters. He believes the serpent's voices in his head that sails, blah, blah, blah. The professional has learned better. He respects resistance. He knows if he caves in today, no matter how plausible the pretext, he will be twice as likely to cave in tomorrow. The professional knows that resistance is like a telemarketer. If you so much as say hello, you're finished. So I really like the personification of this force that keeps you away from your work. I think it's great. I think it helps me, and I think it appeals to creative people to think of your enemy personified. However, I prefer the personification that I more recently discovered from the online psychologist celebrity Jordan Peterson, who prefers to talk about the dragon of chaos. So you exercise in the morning not necessarily because your fitness will fall without this one single morning of exercise, but because it keeps the dragon of chaos away. I happened to already have this painting because I was born in the year of the dragon, and I had it for that reason, but this is my dragon of chaos, and I work hard. I get up to run in the morning because I'm trying to keep him away. The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. I've got a couple more book reviews coming up fast, so stay tuned. Oh, and there's one other part of the book which I'm very grateful for, and it's still kind of echoing in my head. Again, you focus on the work, focus on the grind, and not on the success of being a writer or some other creative pursuit, not on that muse that creative types like to talk about. And the way he puts it, which I love, is that success may quietly sneak in through the back door while you're working hard. Very nice, very nice. I think that's consistent with the other advice to focus on the journey, not the destination. There's certainly a time to set goals and evaluate goals, but once you've done that, focus on the work. All right, there you have it. Thanks.